Hello, welcome to Level 1 Linear Equations. Let's start doing some problems. So let's say I had the equation, 5x equals 20. At first this might look a little unfamiliar to you, but if I were to rephrase this, I think you'd realize this is a pretty easy problem. If you look at that, this is the same thing as saying 5 times question mark equals 20. And the reason we do the notation differently, we write the 5 next to the x, because when you write the number right next to the variable, you assume you are multiplying, so this is just saying 5 times x, so instead of a question mark we are writing an x. 5 times x is equal to 20. Now most of you all could do that in your head. What number times 5 equals 20? Well, it equals 4. But I'll show you a way to do that systematically, just in case that 5 was a more complicated number. With 5x equals 20, we could do two things and they are essentially the same thing. First we could just divide both sides of this equation by 5. In which case the left-hand side, those two 5's will cancel out, we'll get x, and on the right-hand side, 20 divided by 5 is 4, you've solved it. Another way to do it, and this is actually exactly the same way, just phrasing it different, instead of dividing by 5 we could multiply by 1/5. And if you look at that you can realize that multiplying by 1/5, it is the same thing as dividing by 5, if you know the difference between dividing and multiplying by fractions, and that gets the same thing. 1/5 times 5 is 1, so you're just left with the x equals 4. I tend to focus a little bit more on this, because when we start having fractions instead of a 5, it is easier to just think about multiplying by the reciprocal. Actually, let's do one of those right now.